Hello, this is LPR Coarse Fishing, and today I'm going to show you how to make a coarse fishing rig, especially for mid-depth river fishing. Now moving on to the tackle, I've got my pliers to put on the weights on my main line, and I've got my rig winder for my float and my rig. Then I've got my weights, basically just to put on the rig itself. And I've got my main line. I've chosen 5-pound line just in case I get caught on a snag, but hopefully that won't happen. And then I've got my hooks. These are size 18s to 1 3/4 pound. Then I've got my scissors and pen knife to cut the line, and finally my float itself, a stick float. Alright, so the reason why I've chosen a size 18 or whisker barb is because we fish in the fen for our matches, and there aren't exactly too many big fish in there these days, so catching the small fish can basically just win you the match. And the reason why I put a barb on is because some of those small fish that can win you the match are bleak, which wriggle a lot when they're on the line, so basically I want a barb just to guarantee myself those little fish. For river fishing is presentation, and this rig will show very good presentation, showing that the best presentated rig will basically catch the most fish, because it needs to be very fine, because those small fish can help you win the match. Now I'm just going to tie the knot on the end of the elastic. Basically I'm going to get enough line, double the line over, and I'm going to hold one finger like that, and I'm going to turn it over. Oh, sorry. And flip it over and put it in its own knot, like that. And then basically I'll just do it again, just to hold it over so it doesn't like lose your whole rig when you're fishing. So it keeps it nice and tight, like that. Cut off the slack about ½ an inch from the knot itself. This will keep the rig nice and tidy and stuff from getting into knots. Now I'm going to line up the line for my power kit. Basically I don't want it too deep because I'm just only going to be mid-depth river, so I want it about the bottom of my power kit, because when I'm going to bring in the fish I don't want it to be too dangling too low or too high so I can't reach it. I just put the float through the eye first, make sure the float is going up the line, and then I just put on the float rubbers on the line, putting onto the little bit here of the float, and that's done onto the line. Okay, now I'm just going to do the same knot as I've done on the top of the line to connect into the elastic, but now on the bottom of the main line. But remember, I don't want this one too big, because it's only going to go on the end of the main line. I don't want the fish to see it. So now I'll just double over that knot, and now I'm just going to cut off the slack, so it's not too much away from the knot. Now we're just going to tie the hook on itself. I've got the hooks and nylon here, the loop. I'm going to put it through the main line loop which we made. Just putting it through, and then you get the hook and put it through its own loop. And now I'm just going to put it tight, and you should see 2 figures of 8s, or a figure of 8 or 2 loops for the knot. Towards the top of the float I have put a number 4, it's a single number 4, and then mid-depth down the rig I've put 2 6s that will make the float bob up quite quickly. And then I have got 2 8s just above the hooks and nylon itself that will bring the line down quicker. And then I've got an 8 quite close to the hook, which will keep the hook down on the river. Thank you for watching LPR Coarse Fishing. Leave a comment if you have a question, or like it as well, or subscribe. Thank you for watching LPR Coarse Fishing, and this is how to make a rig for mid-depth river fishing.